All praise due to Allah, and His praise and blessings and peace be upon His Prophet Muhammad and the rest of the prophets and the messengers and their followers until the Day of Judgment. My dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to one of your program, to one of a new episode from your program, The Rope That Binds Us. Last episode, we talked in detail about the meaning of the jama'ah, the technical definition of jama'ah, and we classify this word al-jama'ah or the jama'ah to two categories, the tangible jama'ah and the intangible jama'ah. And also we talked about the difference between the tangible jama'ah and the intangible jama'ah. When you study the evidence of a Quran or Sunnah related to the importance of al-jama'ah, you will find that Islam have given great of deal to this issue, ordering Muslims to hold into both categories and to be part of both categories, holding tight to the intangible jama'ah and the tangible jama'ah, holding to al-jama'ah al-ilmiyah and al-jama'ah al-amaliyah as well, because remember, last episode I said that it might be sometimes one of them absent, which is the tangible one. But the intangible jama'ah will always remain in this ummah. And all the time in the history of Islam, it's been always exist in the present days and in the future. And what we are doing in this program, exploring this jama'ah, exploring this methodology of ahlusunnah wal jama'ah in order for us to hold to this intangible jama'ah, or to hold into this way and to be part of this group which is the true followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, man is like a banana. When he leaves the bunch, he gets skinned. That's exactly the can explain the nature of the human being, that he need to be part of al-jama'ah. Let's go over only some, because there's so many evidence to support this point, or my point, which is holding tight to both categories of jama'ah. Let's go over some of the evidence which is ordering the Muslims to hold into the intangible jama'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ فَأَنْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ. In this verse, Surah 3, Surah Al Imran, verse number 103, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordering us and hold fast, all together. We come together, which is al-jama'ah, by the rope which Allah chosen or selected for you, and be not divided among yourselves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us all to come together to hold tight to the rope. What this rope, how we understand the word. This word rope, Ibn Abbas radiallahu an, comment on this verse by saying to one of his students, Simak al-Hanafi, and by the way Hanafi because he's from Bani Hanifa, not Hanafi referring to the madhab of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. No. He said, Ya Hanafi al-jama'at al-jama'ah. He said to his students, O Hanafi, al-jama'at al-jama'ah. Yani, stick to it. Hold into it. Be part of it. And don't leave it. What destroyed the people before us, that they left the jama'ah. They left their book. They left the traditions of their prophets. And they start taking the religion from other source than their prophets and their book. So here Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu ardah explain or define the robe of Allah and use the word al-jama'ah. Al-jama'ah, which is referring to the intangible jama'ah. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in so many other verses ordering us to be part of this jama'ah or to hold into the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also in the ahadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I did not put all the evidence in these slides, but just a few examples. And I would like to add one more verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ ذَلِكُمْ وَصَّاكُمْ بِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Surely, this is my way, leading straight, so follow it, and do not follow other paths. Do not follow other paths than the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will scatter you. They will take you away from your goal, which is Jannah. That's what basically it means. That what Allah commands you, that you might be reminded. Or you be righteous. This is Surah 6, verse 153. Also in Surah 6, 159, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ فَرَّقُوا دِينَهُمْ وَكَانُوا شِيَعًا لَسْتَ مِنْهُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ. As for those who divide their religion and break up into sects, you have no part in them. You don't follow their footsteps. Don't be like them. Don't be like them. So these verses clearly ordering Muslims to stick with the Quran and Sunnah and to be part of the intangible jama'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that clearly in so many verses. These just some examples. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu wa ardah narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the blood of a Muslim is not permissible, يعني he not may be killed, except for one of three reasons. Killing an innocent person, so if he kill an innocent person, he might be executed for that. Or the adulterer, the one who fornicate while he's married, and the one who leaves the jama'ah and the religion. The Prophet ﷺ said, who leaves the religion and the jama'ah. Leave the religion and the jama'ah. Some people might think that the religion and the jama'ah are two different things. No. The religion and the jama'ah are equal, the same meaning here. Otherwise, it will be four reasons. You see, he said here, the one who killed an innocent person, that's number one. Adulterer, number two. The third one, leaves the religion and leave the jama'ah, this is number three. So jama'ah and religion are equal. And this is what is we call the intangible jama'ah. The intangible jama'ah. طيب. Let's see another hadith where Anas radiallahu anh reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, the children of Israel have been divided into 71 groups. And my ummah will be divided into 72 groups. All of them in the hellfire except one, which is al-jama'ah. And this hadith reported by At-Tirmidhi, and the previous one reported by Imam Muslim rahimahullah ta'ala. There is so many evidence to support this type of jama'ah. We move to the evidence pertaining to hold into the tangible, the practical jama'ah. Narrated Ibn Abbas that the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever noticed something which is he disliked done by his ruler, then he should be patient. For whoever becomes separate from the jama'ah of the Muslim, even for a span, and then dies, he will die in a status of ignorant, the pre-Islamic period, which is the Jahiliyyah. من رأى من أميره شيئا فليصبر فإنه من فارق الجماعة قيد شبر ومات مات ميتة جاهلية. مات ميتة جاهلية. This hadith, which is reported by Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala and others, clearly saying that al-jama'ah, so he talked about a leader, a Muslim leader, and somebody who separated or separate himself from the leader and the society or the community, and separate him, rebel. He carried arm to terrify or an act, we call it today an act of terrorism against the civil society or the country. Whoever go against the law or the Islamic law which is established in a country, go against it, or what is Islamically accepted and proven, if somebody go against that and rebel against that and fight that, that's what you call a person who, if he dies in the status of jahiliyyah, which is ignorance. Because in the ignorance day, they don't accept the concept to have a leader and to obey their leaders. In the old days, and pre to the Islamic era, people consider it a form of humiliation to obey a leader. That's why they always fight, and they don't have a civil society, or they were not able to build a society which has a ruler, and this ruler, everybody gather around him and support him. That's why the Arab, prior to the Prophet ﷺ time, they were scattered. But you see the Romans, the Persian, the great civilizations, great countries, because they understand the concept of leader and electing their leader and choosing their leader and the concept of leadership. But in the Arab Peninsula, every group, every tribe, they fight over who lead them. That's why they never established a great civilization until Islam came and changed this mentality and ordered them to establish jama'ah, which is the tangible jama'ah, or to be around their leader and to establish a country with a leader who will be elected, and this leader will guide the community and the society to provide for them what will bring prosperity to their community and their society. Anyway, also Hudayfa radiallahu anhu ardah narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Hudayfa said, people used to ask the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the good, but I used to ask him about the evil things that will happen in future, not because I love bad news or the bad things, no, because I would like to know about it, so I will be aware of it, and I will avoid it, and I will warn Muslims from it when it comes. The hadith in Bukhari, and it's a long hadith, but in this hadith the Prophet ﷺ said that Hudayfa told the Prophet ﷺ, what if a time comes and they do not have imam or jama'ah, and we know that the intangible jama'ah will be always exist, but this tangible jama'ah might not be exist in some time. So this hadith, it's clearly mentioned that the imam and the jama'ah, the Prophet ﷺ said, stick to the imam and the jama'ah, which is the group of Muslims around their leaders. Then Hudayfa said, what if they don't have imam, they don't have a jama'ah? So this hadith related to the tangible jama'ah. Also Arfajah radiallahu anhu ardah narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever comes to you after you have already chosen the caliph or the khalifa, to break your way from him and to break your jama'ah. So jama'ah here related to the tangible jama'ah that we were talking about, the one who, when the Muslims come and elect their leader, and this hadith reported by Muslim. By this, we know that this concept of tangible and intangible jama'ah exists in the Sharia, and by understanding the difference between them, we'll be able to understand a lot of text, and we understand the teaching of the Muslim scholars in related to the subject. We'll stop here. Then I will see you inshallah in the next episode.
oh